Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the AEW Ring Report. We got a lot to talk about. As the Young Bucks are the first two-time AEW World Tag Team Champion. How did they get here? We'll tell you coming up. As well as these matches: Hair versus Hair, Chris Jericho versus Ortiz. Also, two Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus. We told you how the Young Bucks won the World Tag Team titles and what was the biggest shock of the night. Warlow versus the plaintiffs. So I guess Warlow versus the security people. Ethan Page takes on Miro, face to face between John Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Tony Storm versus Dr. Big Breaker, and Will Ospreay versus Dax Hardwell of FTR. And two breaking news: Mr. McMahon and John Laurinaitis surrounded in some sort of controversy. Um, and this deals with this Wall Street Journal report saying that McMahon had an affair with a secretary. What the hell is going on for real? And John Laurinaitis was the fall guy, the fall for it. He was involved in something with it too. I don't get this. This is what's going on with that. We'll talk about this. It's the AEW Ring Report starts right now. Thank you all for watching the AEW Dynamite Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Thank you all. I'm your host as always, Kendrick Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Man, we got a lot to get to. Man, for real. We ain't gonna waste no time whatsoever. Like I said, Chris Jericho took on Ortiz. Ortiz right here, where Chris Jericho took on Ortiz in a hair versus hair match. Jericho was teasing about that he wasn't gonna lose his hair. And Jericho was right. Jericho even put up some historic facts that he and Chris Jericho never lost a hair versus hair match. I can recall him versus, I had forgot at first, but it came the picture. He went against Kevin Nash on Raw in a hair versus hair match, never lost his hair. And Chris Jericho did the same thing. He didn't lose his hair. Chris Jericho, with the help of Sammy Guevara, now is in the group. There's always them three, and always some form of fashion in a group. Jericho, Guevara, and Hager. Now from the inner circle to now the Jericho Appreciation Society. Chris Jericho won over his former teammate Ortiz. Now Ortiz looking a little bit bald going into it. Ortiz doesn't look the same no more. He just bald headed, and he got the help of Sammy Guevara. Jericho keeps his hair intact, but Ortiz doesn't. And Ortiz had to shave his hair off. Also, too, coming up was the match between Dax Hardwell taking on Will Ospreay. Dax Hardwell versus Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, coming from New Japan, I like that Will Ospreay is in a wrestling promotion. He didn't want to be in WWE, and I can't blame him. We'll get to what's going on with the Shady D's with WWE later. Will Ospreay in a company that appreciate his wrestling. And no, Will Ospreay won against Dax Hardwell, but none behold, Orange Cassidy came out there. Orange Cassidy won the shot at Will Ospreay, and the two will meet at Forbidden Door. Will Ospreay, representing New Japan Pro Wrestling, will defend his United States Championship against representing AEW Orange Cassidy. They might well say Will Ospreay is making the transition to become an AEW star eventually. One day, you can just tell it's just a test run, but you can tell Ospreay and Cassidy is going to be a full classic on that match as well. We'll see that. Also, too, Warlow versus the Plaintiffs, a 20-on-1 class action handicap elimination match. I ain't never seen a match like this. This was like a gauntlet match to me. Warlow decimated all the security guards in the match. I guess they try to keep Warlow strong, have him going to one day go against Scorpio Sky and become the TNT champion eventually. one day, only time will tell on that. We'll see how that all gonna play out. Warlow wins his match against the plaintiffs. Can we say anything none less about that? We'll talk about that. Also, too, John Moxley had a face-to-face with Hiroshi Tanahashi, where they're having their match in the interim world championship match. Which one of these two men will be leaving as interim champion? And one day we'll have a unification match against CM Punk once he's clear to wrestle and return. Well, it turned out to be a little bit subtle and cordial at first, but at the end, the Jericho Appreciation Society decided they want to take matters in their own hand and attack everyone in it. So you got Sam and Taya in it, and Chris Jericho making his statement like he was not getting his hair cut. So he wanted to make a statement later on the night, but it ended up being that way. Also, too, Heyman Page still wants a match against Okada, but but Jay White, Sling Blade, saying that's not going to happen. Jay White wants a match against Okada. Everybody wants a match against Okada. And Okada might be the man that everybody wants. Even Adam Cole teasing that he wants a match against Okada. Everybody wants a match. So we just have to wait and see. But this is the details of what's going on now. Will Heyman Page get his match against Okada? Only time will tell on that one. So we'll see. Also, too, the we talked about Dr. Britt Baker went against Tony Storm. Tony Storm looking to prove her worth. She even made Dr. Britt Baker. She picked Dr. Britt Baker 1, 2, 3, and got the win. They just burying Dr. Britt Baker, making her like she's a Charlotte Flair of AEW. She won the Women's Cup tournament. Couldn't get the job done against Tony Storm. And Tony Storm eyeing her next her challenge that she wants to go against women's champion Thunder Rosa. Tony Storm, Thunder Rosa, that might be an instant classic indeed one day. But we'll see. And speaking of instant classics, we'll tell you coming up. Miro went against Ethan Page. Miro, I believe he won. Miro did win over Ethan Page. Miro advances to go against Pac in the Fatal 4-Way at Forbidden Door for the All-Atlantic Championship. And representatives of New Japan Pro Wrestling. We'll wait and see next week between Penta the Sun and Malachi Black. Who's going to win that match coming forward and stuff. Finally, the main event, the World Tag Team titles. This was coming a long time ago. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks. It was supposed to be a triple threat match with the Hardy Boys, but the Hardy Boys got pulled out due to Jeff's DUI and suspension. Well, we'll tell you this. The Young Bucks defeated Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy to become the World Tag Team Champions once again, becoming the first two-time World Tag Team Champions in AEW history. So the Young Bucks are now holding the tag gold in both in that becoming the first two-time World Tag Team Champions. But at the end was that Christian finally, and I knew Christian was going to turn on Jungle Boy, and he did. He turned on Jungle Boy, leaving Jungle Boy out, laying motionless, and hit the concerto and laying out Jungle Boy. So I guess Christian played Jungle Boy and had Jungle Boy played for that. Christian ain't nothing but what he is, a CLB. And Christian getting back into what he normally did. But we'll see. Jungle Boy, hopefully he'll get his revenge on Christian and fight back. I think Christian probably mad because Jungle Boy eliminated him at the Battle Royal to become to get a shot at the world title. All right. That's what's making me sick about Christian. Christian okay. When Christian turns dirty, he's dirty. He's full fledged dirty. So we'll see how this all gonna play out down the road. All right. That ends the AEW Dynamite Ring Report. We'll have another AEW ring report this Friday, along with the SmackDown ring report coming up. So watch out for that coming your way this Friday. Uh, all right, we're gonna move up to wrestling hot topics. This has been a hot topic week for wrestling coming forward. There has been reports on the Wall Street Journal that Mr. Vince McMahon, the owner of the owner of the World Wrestling Entertainment, I say owner of the World Wrestling Federation, not no federation no more. It's still a federation, but it just ain't. Vince McMahon, it was a secret hush hush money, paying $3 million to reportedly to a former employee. The former employee had had a affair with McMahon as well as John Laurinaitis. This is coming to unravel piece by piece, and now the WWE board of directors are investigating this matter. And a lot of people are pointing that Vince McMahon reportedly could be having his fun days over with, and we get back to WWE having real good storylines again. Without, and then how would WWE function without McMahon at the helm? A lot of people are kind of wondering stuff. Um, I really don't know. And then Dex, how he ties into this, saying something about people at the top are perverted and perverse. We know Vince was perverted and perverse. We just think this could be a real threat to his power in WWE. And then they're saying this is a timetable for Stephanie. She's one of the board of directors. She's leaving out top Dodge and Nick Khan. I mean, I really don't. I mean, this is how this everything unfolding with Vince and John Laurinaitis. What's really going on? And then Friday is going to be a real proven test that Miss McMahon won't be at the Friday tapings for SmackDown. So I really don't know what's going on for real, because this ain't a good look for neither both of them. And then they saying John Laurinaitis will be Miss McMahon's fall guy, and Miss McMahon won't really get himself fired or leave. So we really don't know for sure what's going on. All we can think about is see like what's going to happen next, how this all going to play out, how Vince is going to go forward with that, and what's going to happen. Somebody wrote this crazy tweet saying that Nick Khan probably will take over WWE, saying Nick Khan joined WWE and took the Ty McMahon family in 2 years. This is the coldest man in what in the world or in wrestling. I'm assuming. Yeah, and so we really don't know. This is what's going on for right now. But this is reported by the Wall Street Journal. What's going on? So only time will tell. If if it is to be true, it's just reportedly, then WWE finna go down, and we finna see some new changes in WWE sooner rather you think. Vince McMahon might not like it. they'll excommunicate him out of his own company. We never seen that before, but it could be a possibility. But I really don't know what to say. Hopefully, we'll get more details coming up this Friday on the Pro Wrestling Show for the SmackDown Ring Report and the Rampage Ring Report. Ooh, the hot topics we've been talking about Jeff Hardy, now Miss McMahon with this affair. So there's a lot going on this week. All right. We want to thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, which is the AEW Ring Report. It ain't about no WWE. We're going to keep it legitimate about AEW. And right here, the Christian turning on Jungle Boy. Did not see this coming. All right. We thank you for watching, and the new World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. So for me, being Kendrick Dick, saying so long, and thank you all for watching Pro Wrestling Show. Peace.